Alrighty, Miss Susan. So I hear that you want to join the cardiac surgical unit.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I just have a few questions for you, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. Ask away.
So my first question is, why do you want to be part of this unit?
The cardiac unit focuses a lot on the heart, the cardiovascular system, and basically what helps people breathe. Looking at the cardiac unit, I always told myself that the most important thing a person should have is to breathe, and to help others be able to breathe is one of the great pleasures of being able to not only explore and develop heart procedures, but each and every day to see people being able to just have the blessing of breathing fresh air and having the ability to just breathe normally, because we all know how hard life can be when you're not able to breathe normally, or your breathing can't function as it's intended to.
Okay, I love that. Second question is, what do you think this unit's mission is, and how do you see yourself collaborating to it?
I believe that the mission of this unit is to, like I said, just like in Meet the Robinsons quote, it's keep moving forward. But I think I switched it up a little bit and I would always say, like, keep beating forward. This unit's aim is to make sure that every person on every patient that they see will result in positive results that has to deal with any cardiac issues, cardiac surgeries, cardiac complications. If we take everything that we see that is cardiac related, they will come out breathing better, breathing stronger, and being able to take on the world without worrying that they won't be able to be at their best, especially when it comes to breath in their heart or their lungs too. And the way I want to contribute to this is I actually wanted to become your personal assistant in the cardiac unit, because I know for a fact that doctors such as yourself do a lot of the hard work, which would mean it puts a lot of stress onto your heart and onto your mind, which can, put down your breathing. And being able to be your assistant and taking on some of that workload might be able to ease or appease the work environment for you, thereby being able to have you perform surgeries without worrying that you have something
Excuse
else.
me.
Yes.
Is there any way you can help me find an RP that I can observe?
There's multiple choices on my division specialist. I'm a neurologist, but you can observe any of you are interested if you want to get into it.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem, sir.
Tell me about a time you made a mistake, and how did you correct it?
Yes, of course. The time I made a mistake was when I was a general doctor here at HP before I left in my first term. I made the mistake of performing a surgery, an SRS, or that's called a sexual reassignment surgery, on a patient who wanted to remove their penis, instill a penis onto their vagina to stimulate, a penis. Unfortunately, due to the patient's request, I made sure to inform, but I made a mistake by not psychologically pre-approving the patient first, and as you know, that I would need to go through patient history and I would need to go through um, patient psychological evaluation, and I did not do that thoroughly, which led to the fact that after the patient was discharged a few days later, the patient came back saying that they didn't want it and they just wanted to have a vaginoplasty, which of course would mean reverse SRS, removing the penis and putting on the vagina. I made the mistake, like I said before, I made the mistake of not being thorough. I fixed that mistake by making sure after the patient came in, I properly diagnosed the patient. Not only did I check patient records, but I also checked family records. I made sure to check to see if that patient had psychological evaluation from other doctors. I made sure to check to see if the blood work came back positive, where it's going to be nothing wrong with the patient's current body. Most importantly, I made sure to check in with the with the patient's family members, loved ones, and of course, her partner at the time. And I made sure to properly evaluate it and make sure that not only did she sign the paper thoroughly, but the patient was agreeing 100%. So for my mistake of performing an SRS, I made sure to reevaluate myself as a doctor and make sure not to rush it and make sure to properly evaluate every patient that I go through, not based on what the partner or loved one said on the spot. So I was able to fix my mistake. The patient was able to get the vaginoplasty, and the patient has not returned ever since because the patient expressed satisfaction and thankfully did not sue me.
Awesome. Well, that sounds that's some good information. One more question. Tell me about a time you had to stay calm under pressure.
Yes, this was also when I was a general doctor. My first term at HP, we had an abundant amount of cases that was coming in the night shift. I only had 2 blue scrubs, 1 white scrub, 1 green scrub, and no cranberries or no DCPs. The chief was not online, no specialty doctors. It was just me and 3 scrubs. And this happened like around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that would be like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning, which most people were asleep. During this time, I was in charge of making sure the ER was functioning and giving med kits and pills and making sure the scrubs are doing their job, which was fine. Until a group of gangsters or gang members came in complaining of rashes, foreign objects stuck in their body, not being able to pee, not being able to excrete feces, not being able to do a lot of things because they felt something wrong with their body. And each patient needed either foreign object removal, they needed a laparotomy, they needed multiple procedures that required at least multiple doctors to handle all of it, and I was the only one there. I was able to take it one by one by triaging the patients, so from worst to not so bad, and made sure that I treated the patients by their condition, not by who came first. So I was able to triage things such as necrotizing fasciitis, which is the flesh-eating bacteria, all the way from car accidents and life-threatening situations. I was able to make sure that the patients who were treated first had high priority, and I made sure to put them in the recovery room as they recovered. And then I made sure to have the staff, I know it was against the rules at that time, but I just needed to use them for patient stabilization. I made sure to give RP experience to the blue scrubs and the whites and the greens, and to make sure that they were able to stabilize the non-emergent patients, and for example, give them gauze, bandages, water, set up an IV drip, and all the stabilization stuff. I made sure to have them do that in the waiting room, and as soon as I finished one procedure that needed another attention, I decided to go down the ladder that way. I know it was tough, it was a lot, there was not a lot of people online, but I was able to pull it off, stay calm, and see all the patients, at the same time make sure none of them died.
Love it. Well, that concludes the questions I have for you. I do want to congratulate you during this interview. You did great. I am working my way towards specialist doctor position. You are going to be working your way towards assistance in my hands. So I'll be specialist. I'm not sure if you want to stay at your Browns or your GP, whichever is best for you, fits your position, whichever's, you're comfortable at. I love the information you have provided me. I see high potential for you, and I do want to congratulate you that you did pass the interview. I will be putting together a congratulations template for you. So you will be seeing that on the cardiac surgical unit page. Not if it's not tonight, definitely tomorrow. I will also be providing you some macros for this unit. And I think that is it. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. I am honored that I passed the interview, and I'm honored to have this opportunity from you. I promise you that I will be the assistant that you need. And as for rank itself, I always tell myself that the assistant should never be above or surpassing the person that I'm assisting. So, like you said, if you are going to specialty doctor, most likely I will just be a general doctor. However, if you go to AP or DCP, then I will either remain a specialty doctor or a GP or a GD. But nevertheless, I will be increasing my rank so that I can increase my knowledge and I can increase my wisdom and my experience so that I will be able to help you more effectively and be able to make sure to support your journey as the cardiothoracic department leader. And I'll try to make sure to always have your back, support you, and make sure that whatever you cannot do or whatever you feel like is overwhelming, I will be the pillar that you can stand on.
Awesome. I love that. Well, I am going to be inputting your information in and letting DCP Louis know. He is currently the leader of the cardiac surgical unit. It is going to be transferred over to me once I hit that specialist doctor position, once I talk a few things over with Louis. So then I'm going to be the leader of it. And I think that's it.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to working with you and being able to assist you as best as I can no matter what.